Welcome back to the IG Crew podcast with Jen and Emma. Please like, subscribe, rate and review our podcast on the platform you listen or watch us on. We really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for being here each week and every season. Please share our podcast page if you can. Just share a little reel to your story. That would be great. This week we're talking all things season highlights.
Oh no. Yeah, it's the end of the season, so we thought we'd see what your best bits were, share what our best bits were, and cringe a little bit at ourselves.
I mean, so we popped it out on our story last week, quite a lot last week, I think. So we've got quite a few listener highlights that have come through and some that I completely forgot about. So shock.
We sort of do this, don't we? And we literally just have a chat once a week, sort of have a chat together. Sometimes it's one of the only times we get to catch up that week. And so it's a bit of a blur. And because you edit it, I sometimes don't listen to it back. So I literally forget. And then people come to me and say, "Oh, I love what you said then." I'm like, I literally can't remember anything. It's all just a blur.
I'm so glad I said that. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to go through my highlights first?
Yes, please.
And then I think we are also going to be reviewing the trends that we chatted about at I think it was episode 1 of this season.
Yeah,
Whether those predictions were correct.
Yeah, I've pulled them together and we'll see what our halfway marker is. If we're looking like we're onto something or we completely are getting it wrong.
I don't think we got it wrong. The top of my highlights is crowning you Nutsy.
Yes. So I became a scout leader this season, didn't I? It's actually going really well. It's really cute.
With paddleboarding last weekend?
Yeah, we took them all paddleboarding, which was the cutest. They all had their big orange jackets on, and we had they're called super sups. They're like big, massive paddleboards, and so you can get like 10 of them sat on it, and then you paddleboard at the back. Luckily, I haven't done my water safety course or whatever it is, so I wasn't in charge of the squirrels, but I did get on a paddleboard for the very first time, and I did fall in, and the squirrels thought it was absolutely hilarious.
Is it easy or no?
It's, if you've ever tried surfing and thought that's horrendous because surfing's hard, it's much easier. It's much more gentle. Most people that were doing it, because there was quite a lot of people out on that Saturday, were just doing it in like sportswear. So it's not like a water activity. They weren't planning on getting wet. You just get your feet wet getting in and out. But yeah, because it is quite easy to stand up. I fell off because I was trying to turn round and go against the current, but yeah, it's not.
What did you wear?
I wore like a little wetsuit type thing.
Nice. Yes, that was one of my highlights, and I also like that you edited in a scout leader hat to one of the creatives that were shared on Instagram.
Well, there you go. I haven't actually got a hat, but I did get a hoodie and some badges. So
have you got a special scarf thing yet?
Yeah, they're called neckers. So they go around your neck and you have like a woggle that keeps it together. Got one of them.
Why don't you ever share pictures of you wearing these things?
I have to wear it every time I'm doing scout activity.
Yes.
Oh, aren't I cute?
Yeah, you are cute. I'll save the trends one till I've gone through the rest of it. Just going over your jacket etiquette.
And that's come up in both seasons. My ranting.
I've referenced, I put in brackets every season this gets mentioned.
I just can't let it go, can I?
What is the etiquette at a black tie event?
If it's not a wedding?
Yeah. Does it matter?
I don't know what the official etiquette is, but for me it would be sort of don't take it off until, if there's a sit down dinner, leave it on until the dinner's over. But I don't think there's an actual etiquette.
It's just the don't take your jacket off if the groom's still wearing his.
Yeah, just get on board, guys. Just let me chill out a bit. So I'm not at weddings giving everybody evils as I'm setting up their beautiful flower display, like giving them eagles because they've not got a jacket on in 40-degree heat.
Outrageous.
I can't let it go.
But the episode where we were talking about wedding icks, I think we started brainstorming ideas about different either wedding favors or centerpieces, and you referenced a Nordic sea puzzle.
Literally don't know where that came from. I don't know what made me say Nordic Sea. I mean, you can have a jigsaw puzzle of absolutely anything. Why did I, off the top of my head, say Nordic Sea? What?
I
Where did
don't
that
know.
come from?
It could have been anything.
Could have been the Eiffel Tower, could have been a Disney puzzle, could have been a Star Wars puzzle, could have been the Titanic, could have been anything, but nope. The Nordic Sea.
Yeah, you chose the Nordic Sea. And speaking of other things that you have said, it was when we were talking about I think it was in the embarrassing stories episode, and we were talking about somebody wrote in to say something about how there'd been like an accident at the wedding or something like that, and somebody had ended up with a cut on their face or something. And before we had gone on to talk about that one, we were also talking about Harry Potter. And when you said this, I didn't get it as a Harry Potter reference because we had moved on to the next one. But you just, as part of the somebody tripped somebody over, they smashed their face in or something, ended up bleeding. And you said it could have been worse. They could have killed your parents. And I, at the time, I just thought you were looking at worst case scenario, not Harry Potter.
I think that's how we ended that episode too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And on that note, it's goodbye from me.
yeah. That is how we ended that episode, yeah.
I just don't know where my brain goes sometimes.
Well,
Literally, like, where do these things come from?
I don't know, but it was hilarious.
You
Was
don't
like,
seem to have that kind of clangor. Your thoughts and the words that come out your mouth are quite thought out, considered. It's just a load of old rubbish. Oh yeah, that's what I think. Panic.
I don't think mine are well thought out or considered, but I think in comparison to yours, yes, they are.
They seem it.
And my favourite thing that I've learnt across the whole of this season, I can't even remember why we were even talking about this, but now I am obsessed, is the toupee queen.
Oh, I know.
I'm
Isn't she
just
a legend?
and she's also offering to fly people out to Australia to learn the toupee craft.
I know it's a huge missing. We're constantly talking about side hustles, and we'll just become experts at drone shows. Oh, and now we'll become experts at oyster bars, but we could become experts at toupee.
I think I'd be good at it.
Have you ever had any experience of cutting hair?
I cut in my fringe once, and I think I was either talking about this the other day or mentioned it on the podcast. When I thought it looked pretty good.
Mm,
Then when I went to the hairdressers to get it all trimmed up, I said, "Oh, I cut my own fringe in." Yeah, I can tell.
I can tell. I mean, I do cut my own fringe. 25, 35 years of having a fringe, you learn how to cut your fringe, because even though the hairdressers say you can come back and get free fringe trim, I mean,
You're
going
not.
all the way to the hairdressers for 4 minutes of them cutting your fringe, you just want to do it in your bathroom quick, don't you?
Yeah,
So I
I'm
can
not
cut
doing.
a fringe, but I wouldn't say that I had any hairdressing expertise.
I
So
don't think. I think she'll teach us all that once she flies us out to Australia.
should we sign up?
Yeah, because the transformation that a modern day toupee can have is unbelievable.
I know everybody that's listening needs to just go and check it out, because like we said, it turns just a normal average guy into James Bond.
Yep. And the difference the hair makes. I mean, I could talk about this for a whole episode because it is just mind-boggling. These guys come in and you're like, oh God. Then she shaves off the thin hair on top, creates like a balding 48-year-old. Then she puts the glue on their head. Then she puts the toupee on and she blends it into and it's literally like a different person.
I know, it's absolutely amazing. I am really keen to see what my husband looks like with hair.
Me too.
Because I fell in love with him when he had hair, and I still love him now. But I really want to know what he looks like.
I'm
Because you know,
telling you.
also when you've been looking at somebody for 20 years, you forget what they look like almost, don't you? Because you're just used to looking at them. It's like you don't actually really know what you look like because you're just used to looking at yourself.
Maybe we could send the toupee queen a picture of Jord and then she could Photoshop a toupee in. Then we could use that picture to convince him to fly us all to Australia to support him with his toupee experience.
For his 40th birthday.
Sounds like a great idea to me.
I actually don't think she's from Australia. I think she's from California.
Is she working in Australia?
I don't know. I said Australia in the episode, but since following her, I think she's in America somewhere.
Oh, well, even better.
I know.
It's just a direct flight instead of changing.
Yeah. Maybe we should do that. So just Photoshop it and say, look what you could look like, Jord.
Yeah, with a toupee.
Let's all go on holiday.
To just sort your hair out.
And then we have to fly back every 6 weeks to get it touched up.
Yes, but maybe while you're out there, she could train us up and then we could do it for him.
Oh, yeah.
Because I doubt he has to swap the toupee hairpiece, does he?
No, I think you have to get
Reuse.
it restuck.
Yeah.
Bit more shaving. But as he's going bolder and bolder, that will probably become less and less, won't it?
He'll just wear a full-on wig by the time he's...
There we
But
go. We've sorted that.
I'm obsessed with Toupee Queen. I love her. I love the transformations. It is just so satisfying.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
I also, season highlight was guest host Tyler.
Oh, of course. She was on my list too. It was really nice just to sit back and relax and watch the episode.
Yeah.
She's a gem.
And by the time we come to recording third season, she will have had her wedding by then.
Yeah.
Isn't it mad how much happens in a season and then what happens between the seasons and then what will have happened by the time we come back to record third season?
I know. Mental.
It's a lot. Good way to document our lives, and then when we're retired, we can, with our toupee side hustle of all the elderly men that we've befriended, we can just play them the podcast in the background.
I mean, that could be a way. I've just had a thought. You could go away, learn how to do toupees, come back, and then try and meet rich men, rich old balding men. If that,
And then what?
I don't. Well, become a rich
Toupee
widow.
woman. Toupee queen to the stars.
Who leave all their money to you in their wills.
The entrepreneur's toupee queen.
There we go.
Shall we circle back to our trend predictions? Because I've got a few of them on my highlights list. So I think it was literally 7 minutes into the trends episode, I referenced buzzword bingo because you'd used the word juxtaposition and opulence within the space of a couple of minutes.
I don't know if you know this about me, Jen, but I'm very well read.
Clearly.
Again, I don't know where these things come from.
Just deep down in your brain there.
Somewhere I know, somewhere, isn't it? Literally have no idea where these ideas and things come from. They literally just come out.
Maybe you just save it all for the hour that we record every week.
I think so. Save all my brain power. The rest of the time I'm just walking around like a zombie.
And wearing your glasses.
Preserving power. Preserving power.
What was on the 2024 trends list?
So I went back and there was actually quite a lot. So I was thinking, shall I just quickly go through them and you can give me a rating whether you think we're right or wrong?
Yeah, okay. Out of 10 or 5? Or just,
Well, if you do 10's definitely right, 5 is middle of the road, and 0 is what we're thinking.
okay.
So bows,
10.
10. They're everywhere, aren't they?
Everyone is obsessed with a bow. That you can
Everyone.
even get, I saw the other day, you can get stunning dresses, but with either big bows on the front, big bows on the back. I don't know if anyone else is watching Love Island, but they're using all secondhand clothing, slaps on loads of bows.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Big bum bows.
it's bow season.
Yep. I was ironing 40, 50 bows the other day for a wedding that we're doing this week. They're they're everywhere. Love it.
Yep.
So
10.
number 10, pearls.
I'd go with a 7.
7.
I
Yeah,
haven't
they're not as everywhere as I thought they were going to be. Maybe I said that because I want them to be rather than that actually a trend.
I'm seeing a lot more pearl statement jewelry from a
Mm-hmm.
bridal perspective. I don't know if you
Yeah.
noticed, but when we did a wedding a couple of weeks ago, the bride was wearing chunky pearl drop earrings. I think
Mm-hmm.
she also had pearl on her necklace.
Yeah. Also, but I know this isn't weddings at all, but if you follow race, like horse race fashion, it's kind of the time of year, isn't it, where everybody's getting their hats.
Mm.
There's a lot of pearls on hats and a lot of pearl jewelry at the races this year.
Maybe we should score it higher. I'm going to go with 9.
9.
Changing my mind.
Okay. Drone shows.
I think it's a 2. I don't think the UK is quite ready for that.
Luckily, we didn't invest in drone show business.
Not yet.
Not yet.
However, it is coming.
Yeah, maybe we could just be ahead of the curve.
And when I did a bit of research after we spoke about it, and I did Google drone display companies, that kind of thing. I could only really find 2 substantial and, you know, legit
Yeah.
businesses, and it was really difficult to find a price, to get a quote. I even emailed one of them to see if they would come back. Never heard anything from them.
Yeah. I suspect they are the kind of companies that do things for like the O2 Arena and stuff.
No, it
Not
was like drone show for homes or something like that.
I tell you what, it's D-Day time. So a lot of places are celebrating D-Day, and I live quite close to Portsmouth, which is a big naval town. They did a big D-Day event, and they had a massive drone show above the sea. So
Ooh.
you were kind of on the seafront, and everybody's watching, and they did like big drone show. But I've only seen it in big like events, not small family wedding-y type places. So maybe
There is a gap in the
there's
market
a
there.
market for that sort of lower, smaller. There we go.
Well, the
So
company
it's a
that I
2.
emailed didn't come back to me, so
Yeah, they probably knew that you weren't doing
how would they know?
you weren't you two
No,
wanting to do.
no, not you two, no. I don't want to be at Sphere with a drone show outside, no.
Okay, next one. Oyster bar.
3, haven't seen one at a wedding at all.
So we made this a competition, and I am desperately losing. So everybody that's got their weddings from now until December needs to get their act together and get the oyster boys in, please.
Oyster boys. That's a great name for a business. Get like hunky men walking around with their oyster trays.
That is what it is.
Does it exist?
I've seen TikToks with it on, so yeah.
Oyster boys is a thing.
Oh, I know. I don't know if that is a company name.
Well,
but...
it's about to be registered on the company's house. Yeah, no, I don't.
If you want to buy it from us,
I don't think oyster bars have made it
no,
just yet.
no, they haven't. Oh, yeah, next one, sustainability.
I probably would have scored it an 8, but after speaking with somebody last week, I would probably say 6.
What did the person say last week?
They referenced that they'd bought flip-flops because that's what people do. No one's going to wear them, but I didn't want to say that at the time.
Yeah.
It's
every wedding we've done so far this year has had big glow up party sticks.
Yeah.
Lots of inflatable props.
Not
and
that there's anything wrong with that.
Everybody's buying them new.
Yeah.
Nobody's like going, so that's not that sustainable. But then they're using us, which we are sustainable, reusing, reclaiming everything. So I suppose they're yin and yanging it.
I'd say that it's definitely high on our radar. We don't buy a lot of stuff brand new. We obviously use all of our kit and we make sure that it's in keeping with the couple's theme and colour scheme and all of that kind of thing.
And clean and looking,
yeah, looking fresh, ready to go. But what is your replacement for blow up saxophones? What is your replacement for foam glow sticks?
Well, there isn't. And actually the foam glow sticks run out of batteries. So it's almost, I can understand why people are 100% understand why people are doing it. They're really fun.
It just creates a good party vibe.
It really does.
And in your pictures and everything.
Yeah. One thing that we have started to offer this year, though, that I didn't really think about as sustainable, but it is. So with our fresh flowers, sometimes we mix them in with silk flowers, which means the bride or the couple can't necessarily just take away all of their flower displays because it's got a lot of our vases and everything with them. So we started to offer that breakdown service where we break it down in the evening and make mini bouquets with the fresh flowers so the guests can take them away. So you're not just throwing away loads of good, beautiful, fresh flowers. So that's kind of sustainable. So I can see that becoming, for us, more popular of a service.
And then it's a keepsake for other people because you take them home, dry them, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, when I was doing one the other day, I made a big, because I normally make little posies for everybody to take, but I made a bigger one because she says I dry flowers and I'm going to make them into a frame for them. So I gave her a bigger one so that she had more to do that. But yeah, because otherwise they all just go in the bin.
Yeah, I know, it's such a waste, isn't it? And they spent all that money on these fresh flowers and then they're just ditched.
Or you come back the next morning to break down and they're all just looking sad, especially the arches that don't necessarily have a water source. It's really sad to see them. So I think that's quite a good way to think about your flowers, because even if you have big things of fresh flowers and you can get your florist to come back that night, I mean that is probably cost you a little bit of money, but come back and break them down into mini bouquets.
Not if you hire a prop hire company / styling, because
they'll come back anyway. There you go.
Something to think about, guys.
We got weekend long weddings.
10. I think that's here to stay.
Yeah, it's either a one day event, isn't it, or people are really using it and doing the whole hog.
The weddings that I'm going to this year as a guest, One of them is 3 days. They've actually reduced it now to 2 days. So they were going to do a brunch on the Saturday after the wedding on the Friday, but they've decided not to do that now. And then the second one is 3 days for wedding activities, I think.
It's good.
So yeah, people are doing it.
Okay, bold, bright statement colours.
10. Although we actually haven't done many of those weddings.
No, we haven't. But I don't know if that's because our natural style is quite a rustic country garden kind of vibe.
Mm.
So it does lend itself to a bit more of your pastel-y kind of
Neutrals.
colours. But that being said, it does really work with the bright stuff. We are doing a wedding, aren't we, that is a bit more of an alternate theme.
Yeah.
That's a bit more bright colours. But yeah, our natural style is a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look on what people are getting married at the moment on sort of social media, they are being a bit braver.
Yeah.
And you are seeing more and more of, that where you pick a colour and then all your bridesmaids are in a different variation of that colour.
Yeah. It's nice.
Have you seen the new trend? We could add a half yearly one.
Okay.
Where you get a bouquet. So the bride has a bouquet that has lots of mixed flowers in. And then the bridesmaids have a bouquet of a singular type of flower that's in the main.
Ooh.
So one of them will have the roses, one of them might have sweet peas, one of them might have wax flowers. So all together they've got one of each of the flowers.
Oh, that's
Really, really
nice.
cool. Yeah.
I would
It's really
expect
cool.
that to be quite cost effective as well, because you just you'll buy the flowers for the bouquet and then you'll buy a little bit extra of each of those to make the bridesmaid bouquets. I really like that. I think that's nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. We've got concentrating on guest experience.
8.
I think it's really important, but I don't know if it's on the front of everybody's mind still.
It's on the front of my mind. But if it's and I also give people this advice: if it's your wedding, do what you want. Don't think about everybody else. Stop listening to those people that are telling you to get different shaped tables. Just do the shaped tables you want. If you want a U shape of trestle tables, do that.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. The look, the feel, what you want to eat, what you want to wear, what you want them to wear, what type of photos you want is all up to you. But you've also got to remember that you have set an event for 80 to 100 people. There has to be something for them to do. They need to feel comfortable. There needs to be somewhere for them to sit. There needs to be something for them to do. Otherwise, they're going to be bored.
Yeah.
And the last thing you want is for people to be bored just waiting for, on the order of service, it says we're going to cut the cake at 7:00. I'm just waiting for 7:00 to happen. There needs to be things for people to do, whether it's live music, whether it's an art installation, whether it's there has to be entertainment of some sort.
Somebody that I know went to a wedding at the weekend and it sounded like a really plush wedding. She said that you could definitely tell that they pushed a lot of money into their bar because it was a free bar for day guests. But during the sit down meal, and then until the DJ started playing music in the evening at like 7:30, there wasn't any background music. She also said, which I thought was quite interesting, that it was in like an orangery and it's now summer, so it was still really light till 9, 9:30. So people weren't really dancing because it was still so light. People only started dancing once it was dark, and she said that was about 10:00. So they paid for this DJ from 7:30, I presume, till 11:30, and nobody was dancing till 10.
That is a really good point, actually, isn't it? you do need it to feel kind of like you've gone into the evening. And if you're in the middle of summer, that doesn't happen until 9 o'clock.
No.
So you need some way of blocking out the light in the disco area, so people feel comfortable, because the last thing you want to be doing is shaking your stuff when it feels like it's still the afternoon. It just doesn't feel right, does it?
And I just thought it was a really interesting observation.
So thinking about things like that is important. Live music, I mean, it doesn't even have to be really, you don't have to get people in. You can you know, garden games, you know, some mini games on tables. It's just things for people.
That's where your Nordic Sea puzzles come in.
That's it. Maybe not a Nordic Sea puzzle, because we don't want to concentrate on that, but it's just, you know, just think of things for people to do, because there's only so much awkward talking you can do.
Yeah. What's next on the list?
Eloping. I think more people. I think more people are doing that.
7.
Yeah. Wedding scents.
10. Every client that we've got this season is all about their wedding scent.
Yeah, loving it, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it's nice, because obviously I think it's nice. I love a scented candle, and it personalizes your wedding. And every single wedding that we've done so far this season, people are like, oh, what's that smell? It's these scented candles. And it just adds that extra little personalization to your wedding.
Yep, I agree. 100% do it, guys. You will not regret it.
No, you won't. And it's nice, like little keepsakes. You can give your mum and dad a scented candle to take home, your grandparents scented candle to take home, maid of honor take home scented candle, best man, here you go. And then you can keep a few for yourself, so you're like, oh, this is our wedding scent, like on your anniversary or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, they say, don't they, that scent brings back more memories than any other scent.
They? We need to put that on the website.
Okay, I like that to-do list.
You kept that to yourself for the last 3 years.
Again, I might have just made it up, won't I? But it sounds right.
You also said at the beginning of the year, if you say something with conviction, people tend to believe you.
See? Who knows what I'm saying?
I believe you.
Next one is ceilings.
5.
Yeah, I would say 5. So I would say at the really, really top of the high-end wedding, this is 100% happening. People are getting big pieces of scaffolding and draping and lighting and florals and making it a big statement. At the average normal person's wedding, it's not quite there. But that being said, the weddings we have done have been thinking about it. We've seen more draping, we've seen more things being hung. People are concentrating a bit more on the lighting up in the ceiling. When we did the consultation with the big, it's a lovely big barn, and they've got these big black chandelier candle holder. They're huge, and they were talking about what should we do with these. In the end, we decided to just put candles and leave them be, because it worked better with their theme. But you know, more people are starting to think about what's above them, not just what's on the tables and the floors.
What I would say, though, is if you're looking into that, just get a few quotes from a few suppliers. If you're looking at draping, one of the venues that we work with, they have the option of getting one of their recommended suppliers in to pop a little, like, top of the aisle drape, if you like.
Yep.
And it's not the most affordable way to do it. So I would shop around
and see what else that supplier can do.
Yeah.
Because often suppliers that do things like that also do lighting. They also do carpet rug wear type thing. So you could pick and choose a few different options, which will make your bill bigger, but it will make it more cost effective, because a lot of the money you pay for that kind of thing is the driving, the installation, the coming and collecting it. So and to do more than one thing for you. Guest dress codes.
I mean, I wish this was a higher number, but I'm going with 4.
Yeah, it's not.
I would prefer to be told what to wear.
Me too.
Tell me what colour you want me to wear, and I'll just look at that.
Yeah, make it so much easier.
Mm,
Yeah, I would definitely do it if I got married again.
me too.
We did it. You did. We did it. We did it for Ian. I had
Did it for
nothing to
Ian's
do.
wedding.
We did it for Ian's wedding birthday, and I mean, everybody loved it.
Yeah.
Everybody was excited to see what people were wearing in that theme. All the photos looked absolutely epic.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good.
Just nice to have a colour scheme.
Yeah, I agree. Content creators.
1.
One. We haven't seen it at all,
I
have
haven't
we?
seen that at all, no. But I have seen a lot of them advertise, because I'm a member of loads of different wedding groups on Facebook. A lot of people are offering introductory costs because I feel like this is the first season that people are doing it,
Mhm.
but I haven't seen one at a wedding in real life yet.
We might see it towards the end of the year, maybe,
Yeah.
as people are sort of realizing it's a thing.
Hmm.
Um, I've got cocktail bell, ring for a
Oh,
his or
yeah.
her cocktail. I've personally not seen any of this, but I definitely know it exists
Yeah.
out there.
I think I think it works quite well for corporate events.
Yeah,
But again, it
yeah.
is you could loop it into your guest experience category.
Hmm. Yeah. I'm going to say 6 for that because even though we haven't personally styled or been to a wedding yet this year with one, people are definitely doing it
Hmm.
because I've seen suppliers that do a similar thing to us, building like the behind the scenes, building the screens
Yeah.
and things like that. But I suppose you've got to have a venue that is willing to do it
Yeah.
because you need somebody behind there shoving through the cocktails, do you?
Hmm.
Um, and then I've got 2 more, and they're both food related. So one of them was this idea about less formal sit down meals, more big sharing platters, big sharing dessert tables. I don't want to say buffet because that's not what it is, but
Hmm.
it's a you can have a sharing platter for your table or whatnot. Again, not seen this.
No, not seen that. I'd go with 4. Maybe
Yeah,
more. I've seen it with dessert tables, but
yeah.
it's a dessert table, so help yourself to the desserts.
Hmm.
Um,
Everybody's everybody I so far this year is still going for that nice traditional sit down,
yeah.
your plate of food.
Hmm.
But people are being a bit more playful with the sort of evening food, aren't they?
Yeah.
Again, there's a lot of pizzas and stuff, but I think it's the venues we work for often have big pizza ovens, so it's one of the services that they
Hmm.
offer, so it's easier for them to deliver.
Fish and
But
chip vans.
yeah, I love it.
Who wouldn't? Who would say no to salt and vinegar chips at the end of a wedding? I mean, I could eat that right now, but
Well, the last thing we were talking about was that really late night
snack
kind of
box to
food
go.
offering. Yeah, that late food box offering. So just before your guests. So I would say in like 11 o'clock
Yeah.
kind of, and some of the ideas we had was like a cereal bar. When I listen back to that, I don't mean like a cereal bar, but I mean like a big bar with lots of different cereals where you can make your own,
Yeah.
put the milk on. And that sort of transcended to our idea of just a Kellogg's selection box type thing.
And a carton
But
of milk to go.
you could also have Happy Meals delivered. You could do chip butties. You could, all sorts
I
of
think
things.
great
So
idea.
yeah.
However, when I put the food out at Ian's birthday, that was probably 9:30. People were way too busy partying and still drinking to worry about the food that was put out at that time.
Yeah, but come 11 o'clock,
Oh,
you said people were taking trays of sandwiches. So,
that is correct. Yeah.
so that 11 o'clock, oh God, I need something
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Tray of sandwich to go.
Yeah.
That's what he did. Yeah.
But I haven't seen it. But I think
No.
it's a great idea.
Yeah, I do too.
And it needs to be something stodgy and comforting.
Yeah.
Some more canapes is not going to cut
No,
it.
you need like baps.
You could do like a mac and cheese station. So
Oh,
you get
yeah.
a bowl of mac and cheese and then you can put your crispy onions on, or you can put your hot sauce on, or whatever.
Delicious.
Something like that.
Little mac and cheese pots to go.
Yeah.
If only we had a catering business on the side.
I mean, we could quickly set one up if
Yeah.
you want.
After we'd learned how to do toupees.
Toupees. Well, that was one of my highlights from this season. Actually, it's just that combined thing that we've got of being, yeah, we can do that. So we are drone experts. We are toupee experts. We're caterers.
Florists
What else?
now.
Florists. Well, we've made that one we've made that one come true. What else? What else have we said that we could just do?
It's actually included in the listener highlights. Rent
Oh,
a
okay.
bridesmaid.
Oh yeah, rent a bridesmaid. We're one of them.
Um I mean, this could be a side hustle, but somebody got in touch to say that they really like the idea of taking a bodyguard bridesmaid to your dress fitting. Because if you remember, we were talking about it's
Sorry.
things being too tight.
Can you hear the dog barking? Thanks, Lims. Thank you.
We were talking
Sorry.
about the final dress fitting, and if you're a bit more of a reserved character, that you're not necessarily going to say if something's wrong, and taking that bodyguard bridesmaid with you to be the one to say nope, she doesn't like it. So we could do that too.
Yeah. I think that is a really important takeout from this season.
Shall I go
Take one of
through
them with you.
a few more
Yeah,
of the listener highlights?
go for it.
Rate or hate got a good response. Quite a few
Good.
people got in touch to say that they really enjoyed Rate It or Hate It, particularly your theme tune.
Rate it or hate it. I think it's different every time, but we'll go with that one for today.
And also the reference to flower grands and first look with your dog.
Brilliant.
Another listener got in touch to say that they learnt a lot from the true or false game we played.
Oh no. Yeah, you did well on that one, actually.
I did much better than I thought I was going to do.
Yeah. So this is the one where I got loads of facts and I was asking Jen if she thought they were true or false.
Yeah.
That was a good episode. We both learned a lot from that, I think.
Yeah. Somebody else got in touch to say that their season highlight, even though it was technically last season, was our African geography. But that was when we were talking about honeymoon destinations in season 1, and you and I couldn't believe that people would possibly book Africa. But people go to Morocco, they go to Egypt, they go to South Africa on safari.
Yeah, I think I made some dubious comments as well, so we won't repeat those.
Somebody else got in touch to say your reaction to Aldi crisps on a crisp wall.
Yes, devastating.
Yeah.
Don't ever do it.
The merging of the names game.
Oh, you were absolutely on fire during that episode.
Zimmerson was one of the ones that we came up with.
I mean, that could be another side hustle of you consulting with people that are getting married and giving them made up names.
Yeah, what do you think our surname should be? Well, I'll tell you for a fee.
You're very good at that.
And the last one was the most popular response from the "What would you change about your wedding" episode being the groom.
When we asked that question, it didn't even come to me that would be the answer.
No.
But when you said, and the most popular response we had was automatically it just flooded in, and I was like, I know what the answer to this is.
The cream.
Of course. Of course it is.
And that's it for this season.
I've had fun this season.
A lot has happened in this season, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But we will be taking a summer break because it's our busiest season for our side hustle. We've also got a very important wedding to attend at the end of the summer, and we're planning on coming back to your ears or your eyes, depending on how you listen or watch us on, in the autumn.
Autumn. Yeah.
But please like, subscribe, rate and review, share our podcast between now and then. It really does make a huge difference, even if you're just liking the episodes or liking the episodes on YouTube or audio. We will also possibly be coming back in a different format. I just need to learn how to use Riverside. But nothing should change. The episode should still be coming out on YouTube and also on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen or watch us on. Thank you for joining us this season.
We've done it. Season 2's under the belt, Jen.
And for the last time this season, until autumn, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
You've been listening to the I Do Crew podcast with Jen and Emma. Keep up to date with our podcast news by following our I Do Crew podcast Instagram account. Thanks for listening.